Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Elias Martinez, and welcome to the CEA CEO Podcast, the show where we discuss and document inspiring stories from the entrepreneurs and leaders involved with the controlled environment agriculture movement. Thank you guys for joining. Um, so, today I'm going to be talking about, I guess, missing farmers markets. Um, Unfortunately, I missed the last one that I was supposed to attend, um, and it really bothered me. I was not happy about it. Um, I was actually so upset that I wanted to make a video at that moment, but I didn't want to ramble off emotionally because I have a tendency to do that, where if something is bothering me and I get to talking about it, I just keep going around in circles around the same point. Um, so I didn't want to do that or put you guys through that. So kind of waited until now to do it, um, where I have a bit more of a cooler head. Um, so a little bit of the reason why I missed the farmers market. Um, I almost missed the first one because I had car issues where I couldn't get a vehicle, and I was lucky enough to actually have a vehicle loaned to me for the day to go and do that. That wasn't the case this time. I reserved the car to be rented. Um, it was through a company that I always usually rent through, but I foolishly chose it to be at the airport again, uh, but it was a different company, and I ended up with the same sort of outcome, um, which I didn't understand because I've always been able to rent from them, but not from that same place, and um, I should have considered that. I had reserved the car a couple weeks beforehand, got a really good deal. Went to go pick it up, and quickly found out that I needed an airplane ticket in order to use my debit card, which was the same issue with the last time that I couldn't find a vehicle. But like I said, I thought that that it being a company that I usually rent from, that it would be something I could take care of. But it wasn't the case. So I ended up having to um, forfeit getting the vehicle from them, and had to take the slow bus all the way back to the warehouse, to the farm, because I didn't have a ride, and it was already nighttime. So I had a little bit of despair about it, where I was really upset with myself mostly that I would make such a stupid mistake. Um, and so I just tried to think of different ways to fix it, um, and actually just called car dealerships, the same car rental company that I usually rent from, in the same sort of location. It wasn't at the airport. So I thought that I reserved that matter. I mean, it ended up being $20 more than what I was willing to spend. I mean, I did get a good deal with the first vehicle, and this one was more on par with what it usually cost. And I just sort of just had to take it as that's what it was going to be. Um, so I rented the vehicle, or reserved it, and went to sleep. Or got all my stuff ready for the next day. Um, Went to sleep, woke up, and just went down to went to the car dealership to get there before they opened, which was about 9 in the morning. So I get there, and then they tell me that all of the cars are rented, that they overbooked themselves, and it would not be possible for me to get a vehicle. Um, so at this point, I'm pretty good at hiding my anger in public if I keep my mouth shut. So that's kind of what I did, and just walked out and just tried to think of the next possible solution, the plan C. Um, uh, so I saw that there was a U-Haul um, station or building nearby, and I just walked to it and kind of just considered just renting the U-Haul truck, which I always have luck with. No issues, and I can take the vehicle and just go do the farmers market with the U-Haul. I mean, it might be maybe a little bit expensive, probably almost the same, um, but I kind of was desperate in just figuring out a way to get to the farmers market. The time was running out. Um, so I walk over to the U-Haul and request for a truck, and they tell me that they don't have any available, because it is the beginning of the month, and this is the time usually when everybody is moving in or moving out of their houses. So there went that plan. I really didn't have anything else I could do after that. So I was forced to call the market managers and let them know what was happening. Um, they were pretty understanding, but I don't think they were too happy with it. Um, Understandably, and I was kind of upset with myself, um, because I had a bunch of produce that I was ready to sell that would now just be sitting there, not being sold. So there's no way for me to sell it. And one thing about microgreens is, if you don't harvest them when you're supposed to, you probably have a good week after. But even after that, I mean, you kind of have to figure out a way to sell it, and there was no way for me to unload the amount that I had because I didn't really grow it for anybody specific. So, um, so that kind of messed with me the whole day. I was really angry. A lot of mumbling to myself, a lot of heavy breathing, and just trying to catch my breath, and doing a lot of sort of mindfulness humming or something, just trying to calm down, uh, just because I was really bothered by it. Just this whole not really having a car issue just really bothered me. It still bothers me. Um, but it's kind of something that I have to deal with right now until I can actually afford to get one. Um, because there's no way for me to make sense in actually owning a vehicle right now, because I would just be using it to make deliveries. So it's kind of caught in um, that interlace between really needing one and just how much utility can I really get out of it, because I just take the bus to work, take the train to work, and it's fairly cheap and easy for me to get around to do that. So other ways that I get around, um, I'm a member of Zipcar, so that's kind of how I do my deliveries usually, and it's pretty. It's kind of expensive, but kind of cheap considering what's actually the intention. So for me, I do deliveries, and if I need to do um, you know, multiple deliveries, which would take me about 1 to 2 hours, I would just rent a zip car for 1 to 2 hours. So if you guys, for those of you that don't know, Zipcar is kind of like um, an on-demand car rental that you can rent by the hour, um, and they kind of range from $7.50 to about $10. And you kind of have to pick them up in predetermined um, locations, so like colleges or really high traffic areas. So Fortunately for me, I'm not too far from a college, which I can go there and actually just rent it, come over to the warehouse, pick up my stuff, and just make my deliveries, and end up paying less than $20 for 2 hours in doing my delivery, because they do add some little taxes here and there, but it's usually less than $20 I pay to make multiple deliveries within that hour. And I make sure to pack up all the deliveries all in one shot, and I could do that. But I'm kind of getting off topic there. Yeah, so I ended up missing the farmers market, because I even considered doing the zip car and just renting it out for this whole day. And it was a really beautiful day in here, Buffalo. The snow had finally started to melt. The sun was out, so everybody wanted to go out and enjoy themselves. So that was another sort of factor that played into why there were no really vehicles available. Um, so so I spent the day pretty much just moping, and playing video games. Kind of one of the, it was one of those days, that kind of like playing video games is a stress relief for me. Um, and Yeah, so I mean, I was just pretty upset about it, because it felt like I missed out on a lot of money. I knew how exactly, I kind of had everything planned out from a couple of weeks beforehand, and just for everything to just go and just, I don't want to curse or anything, but, that just takes one. Um, and Yeah, it really just made me upset. It still bothers me a little bit, but I just kind of have to move on, learn from it, which I have. I'm not gonna do that again at all. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just feel kind of upset and disappointed that I disappointed the market owners, the market managers, because they kind of were expecting me there, and kind of leaving that hole unfilled. And I know I disappointed a few customers that wanted to buy from me, and I told them I was gonna be there. So it felt like I broke a lot of promises, which I don't like to do. I don't like that feeling. So I felt like I disappointed a lot of people that day, and including myself. Um, but you know, you kind of just have to learn with, what your mistakes, and roll with the punches. Um, and Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna do that again. Uh, But have you guys ever had any issues where you missed a farmer's market? I would like to hear um, the stories you had on why you ended up missing a farmer's market. Whether it was some sort of emergency, or you just decided you didn't want to go that day, or just huge pain in the necks that that happened that day, on why you couldn't go. I would love to hear all your stories, and maybe console me a little bit. You can try to make me feel better, um, but yeah, I would just like to hear what you guys have to say, think, comment. Yeah, so thank you for listening to me. I know I'm putting out a few of these now, just trying to get everything going. But thank you for joining me. Um, Please subscribe, share the video, comment, um, sign up for alerts, um, uh, tell your friends about it, or don't, but please do. Um, yeah, give us thumbs up, all that good stuff. Um, but Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, you can get me either through my farm in social media, or you can get to me through the podcast social media. So for my farm social media, everything is Cubed Root with a K. So that's KUBED ROOT. I'll have it spelled out in the bottom, uh, and links on there as well. If you want to get a hold of me um, through the podcast, everything is the CEA CEO Podcast. So that's everything, all other social media as well. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm gonna have the links down there as well. You can check those out. Feel free to like and follow my stuff there as well. Um, and Yeah, and just let me know what you guys think. Um, I look forward to putting out more of these, and where we can help each other out. I can share my stories and what is actually happening, and just sort of see the progression of where this thing is gonna go. All right. So like I said, I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll see you later. See you later. Bye.